Bet from BettesMakes, and today we are going to be making 3 different types of sunflowers. And those sunflowers will include one made with tissue paper, such as this one right here. You can see this beautiful tissue paper sunflower. The next one is going to be made with either cardstock or with bond paper, so you'll have a choice and a different kind of stamen for each. So that's number 2. And the third one is going to be made with crepe paper, so we're also going to learn how to do this one as well. Now, before we get going, one last request that I have for you. Can you please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is down here? Just click on that subscribe button. And finally, you will also find in the description the place where you can download the free templates for this particular project. So let's get going and let's have some fun. Our first project is going to be the sunflower. Now, the sunflower that I made before is quite large, so I'm going to reduce it by about 1/4 the size. So before we get started, let's take a look at some of the materials we have to use. You're going to need a small amount of cord, and the cord is going to be used to tie in the center. A pair of scissors if you haven't already cut your pieces. I use a burnishing tool just because I like my creases nice and crisp. I have a ruler so we can do some measuring. I have 3 pieces of black tissue paper measured 7 inches wide by 7.5 inches long. And I have 7 pieces of yellow tissue paper measuring 10 inches by 10 inches. So before we get going, you're going to have to cut your tissue paper to get it ready to go, because it's going to be a lot easier when we bring things together. Now this is going to be an accordion fold, so I'm just going to turn this now. I've got the first one up. I'm going to bring this to the back. Try to match it up as best as possible and keep it straight. Now this next time I bring it around, I'm going to be able to incorporate the black, so I'm going to line it up approximately centered here. Line it up, and then I'm going to fold it into the next fold. Make sure it's going to have to be perfectly straight, but I don't want it crooked either, so let's go about here. I'm going to bring that. Now this is going to be the more difficult part, because what you're doing is you're adding the black to it, and when you're doing the accordion fold, you've got to hang on to both pieces. I like having my nice crisp folds. Let's straighten this out a bit. This won't take too long. This is just the first part, and it's fairly easy. It won't take you very long to do this at all, since our flower is only 10 by 10 this time around. Although you would like an even number of folds, sometimes that's just not going to happen because we're going by eyeball here. Let's just fold this last one over. So now we have an accordion with the black in the center. And we're actually going to pull the black out. Remember, you have 3 pieces of black. We'll fold it back together. Now, since we're making the center of the flower with this, we're going to round these ends off. Just quickly, I'm about 1/2 inch in. Just a nice little round shape. This will even it up. Now with the yellow, we're going to make the pointed leaves. And also fold that one back together, and this time we're going to do points for our flower leaves, or the petals actually. have nice pointed edges. So we'll just cut both sides. You can go fairly deep with it, but not too deep, or you won't be able to get them apart when we finish off. You don't have to be very accurate or measure this. You just have to make sure you get a nice point. Let's remove our debris. Now these will be the points of the leaves. They look pretty good. Now just before we start tying this off, just want to make sure you've got some nice creases in here. There we go. There, that's what it was. Now with these creases, there's two sides. You have a rough side and a shiny side. We're going to keep the shiny side up. That's the way tissue paper is. And then we want to take our black pieces again, but this time we're going to go right down the center. Looks like a centerpiece. We're going to tuck it right back in. Right, so we've tucked it in, fold it back together. All right, we're tucked right back in. So this will be the center part, and you'll notice how this is not down far enough, so I'm just going to have to slide it down so it looks about centered. Don't worry if you have anything extra sticking up. Our next job is to fold this in half. I'm going to burnish this one this time, but I am going to fold it in half so I know exactly where the half is, because we're going to tie it together with a piece of this string. Just cut a small piece. Easy part here, since I have a small crease, I'm able to see where the center is. Tie it fairly tightly because this is going to be the center. There we go. That looks pretty tight. Not overly tight so you rip the paper. Give it a couple of knots just so it stays in place. We can cut this off later. So now we have the dull side here and we have the shiny side here. So what we want to do is now pull these apart. We're going to do half at a time, but when we're finished, these will come together like this. This will be our sunflower. So we're going to do the center piece first. Grab these three pieces, grab them up so they come up towards the center, and then we're going to take them apart one sheet at a time. This is going to look very adorable. The more difficult part is trying to find the two pieces to get them apart. There we go. There's one half all ready to go for the center. And we'll grab the other half momentarily. Now what we want to do is take the pieces apart for our flower. So I'm just going to spread it out here. You can see all the parts. What we're going to do is start with the top, and we're going to bring it up little bit by little bit. Now we have the first part of our sunflower. Now we'll get to the second piece. Careful. Don't rip anything. Be very careful when you do this. Here's the second one. Remember, we have 7 layers here, but you want to pull them out a bit. Okay, now number 3. Going here on number 3. Get back on me. I'm going to continue doing this all the way through. And then we'll start on the other side doing exactly the same thing. And then we'll come right back when we've got this all put together. Wow, we finally made it to the final product. This is what we ended up with. This is our tissue paper sunflower. It has the black inside and of course the yellow leaves, and it just looks amazing. So on our next video, we're going to be making a crepe paper sunflower. But before you go, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and look forward to making your crepe paper sunflower. See you soon.